How's it going, everyone? Welcome. How are you doing today? GGG did a patch note video yesterday for Path of Exile 2 and things that they're going to be changing up. So let's just go over the video and my thoughts about it. So without further ado, let's get it. So before we start, these patch notes should be live sometime this week. They haven't given us a certain date just yet, but they're going live and the written patch notes will be coming out sometime soon as well this week. So let's get it.
Rogers, game director on Path of Exile 2.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're back from our break. We've been playing the game a whole lot and we've been reading a whole lot of feedback as well. So it's time to assess and work out what we're going to do next. Now, later this week we'll be releasing PoE 2 0.1.1.
See you later
This is
this
a
week.
patch designed
I think Thursday or Friday.
to address the concerns that we can address relatively quickly without needing to create a new league or a new economy just yet. In this video, we'll be going over some of the issues we've identified and what we're planning on doing about them. It's worth stressing that just because a specific issue isn't on this list doesn't mean that we're not aware of it or that it isn't going to get addressed. It just means that we either can't fix the problem quickly or we can't do so without the need for a new economy. One of the major areas that needs a
They're talking about the warrior being too slow and making huge moves, damaging moves. The warrior's badass. Respect my warrior, but the movement's still too slow compared to all the other classes.
lot of attention is the base experience of mapping. We've made a lot of changes here.
End game.
First,
I still haven't got to
in-game
the end
maps
game. I gotta get there.
balance pass to the number of monsters, number of chests,
I'm
number
glad
of
I waited,
magical
though.
rare monsters, number of essences, strongboxes, and precursor artifacts. You should generally find maps more rewarding than before.
Hey, look at
Maps
those.
generally
I gotta
specialize
make
in one or
a
more of these elements that
a
they're
witch.
particularly rewarding in. Now, towers are a thing that's very important for players to run often, but we only had one of them. We wanted to add more variety here as soon as possible.
Nice,
So we've
that
added 4
looks
more
awesome.
tower maps. Alpine Ridge, Sinking Spire, Bluff, and Mesa.
Mesa, Arizona. Let's go.
We've also redone the existing Lost Towers map to make playing there less boring.
I heard they got rid of the roofs on that Lost Tower, so that you actually could see the enemies before
We're
you go
now
inside.
also spawning more maps with
To get
bosses.
insta-killed.
The rate was intended to be 1 in 4 maps, but in reality the rate was much lower due to some maps being unable to spawn bosses. We've increased the rate to compensate for this issue so that we can get the actually intended rate. We're also adding a new type of tablet that allows you to add bosses to your maps with its own mod pool.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Strongboxes also needed some love. They now spawn monsters faster, have a less annoying fog effect, and have also received changes to the timings and effects of the mods on them.
damn, I got word is crushing it.
Now, let's talk about visibility of effects. Many maps had too much clutter, preventing effects on the ground from rendering, causing you to be unable to see and dodge them. We both changed the level of clutter on some maps and changed some effects.
I gotta
to
really
make sure
start
that they're
diving
always
into
visible.
chaos.
In addition, elemental explosion effects have had visibility improved. Stick around for longer before they explode and disappear without exploding if a rare monster dies. Volatile plants are also way easy to see.
I gotta say, the one movement, like with the grenades, you could barely see those grenades, especially if you were like sitting back on the couch and watching on a bigger screen. I could not see the grenades. They were so like dim. Unless I really see him actively throwing it, sometimes I don't even see those grenades being thrown, and I just get my life just goes like wiped out real quick. I'm like, what the hell hit me?
Before they explode. Now we've also increased the zoom level on the Atlas, done a pass on
Nice.
various terrain collision issues in many maps.
That's good.
We've also improved the load
Because I did get like some maps, I would just get stuck randomly. I'm like, I should be able to roll this way. Now I'm just getting mobbed by enemies and just not being able to roll out because I should be able to roll through this, and I just die.
times of opening the world map and Atlas panel. And we also now show the biome of a map on the hover for it. For other in-game content systems, we're focusing on getting all the rewards in line with what they should be. For Delirium, we recently fixed a bug which caused Delirium monsters to just not spawn after the starting part. And we've also buffed the rate of simulacrums dropping by 20% to make it more in line with the rate of finding the Expedition and Ritual bosses.
Oh,
For Ritual, we've made Omens now appear in the Ritual Tribute window 60% more often. For Expedition, we've improved the rarity from the shops, but we'll be wanting to make some more substantial changes to the rewards for this
Damn.
league later on.
I gotta get deeper into the
Now, one of the
freaking
major concerns that
content.
we're often seeing is that getting to play Pinnacle
So this is what I've been doing with PoE. In case you guys want to know, I got about 150 hours into PoE 2. I've just been making builds. I currently have a build where I am a monk using a bow, doing poison damage. So I shoot my like poison gas on the ground, ignite it with the wall of flame, and just wipes out the room. That's the current build I'm doing. So I have the only character I have in Chaos is my monk, and then I have a witch I'll have a sorcerer in Act 3. I have my warrior in Act 3. I have about to be my monk slash ranger in Act 3. I have a ranger in Act 3. So I just have a lot of characters. I have a witch in Act 3 too, but I just gotta rearrange her build because I was going withering and it was just wasn't working out, and bosses took way too long to kill. So yeah, I just been making builds. The fun of this game for me has been just making builds for me, and then I'll explore the deeper content. I'm glad they're fixing it up, so when I do get there, it's not going to be such a hassle, and things are going to be fixed, and it's going to be much smoother. So maybe it was a good thing I waited. All right, let's go.
content just takes too long, and that when you do finally get there, you only get one attempt and don't get a chance to learn the boss. In order to address these concerns, we're making the following changes. First, we're making the Citadel spawn closer to the center of the Atlas, and
Nice.
we've also added an effect so you can see them in the fog of war from further away. This makes them much easier to find.
Nice.
To address the problem of only having one attempt, on the Arbiter of Ash you will now get up to 6 respawn attempts.
Man, look at that boss, man. I can't wait
Respawns
to
can
fight
only
him.
be triggered by the person who put in the keys, and everyone on your party will be respawned at the same time. Leaving the map still forfeits your attempt, so you'll still need to fight the boss with the build you walked into the map with. Higher difficulties of the boss will lower the number of respawn attempts you get, but you should know the mechanics of the fight by then, right? Now, we'll also be adding respawns to other Pinnacle content as well over time. Another thing that players have noticed is that there are less keys
How do you get the HUD to look like this? I think I could change it. But the HUD looks nice, and it actually shows the charms.
from Faradin Citadels on the market, and thought that it was because the Citadel
Well,
spawns
it's this
less
PC
often.
only. It's not for.
It turns out, though, that this is just because the boss kills players more often than the others. We've made a few changes to that boss to bring it in line with the other bosses.
The
A lot of
abomination.
people have reported that many of our unique items are feeling underwhelming.
We're gonna check
Uniques
this
are
out.
often
Hold up.
designed to be build enabling at high levels, even if they're low level uniques.
I got a bunch of
we
uniques.
realize that we do need to make sure that more uniques feel powerful when you first get them at low levels too. And this
All right, let's go over this. Let's go over the Dodre's Tenru Stitch Gloves. You get 100% increased spell damage. Wow. 17% reduced cast speed. There's a caveat to it. And plus 12 to intelligence. The new ones are plus 20 to maximum energy shield, 100% increased spell damage, 22% and 14% intellect. So I guess you get the energy shield on top of it. Man, I don't want to take more reduced cast speed. I don't know. That one's a great one. I'd rather take the old one because you're just getting +2 to intellect and energy shield. Let's do Endra's Tusk Iron Chorus. I do have that one, I believe. 130. This is the old one. 137 increased armor, 10% chance to inflict bleeding on hits, 50% reduced slowing potency of debuffs on you. That's a pretty good one. 20 to 25 physical thorns damage. The new one is 135 increased armor, so a little bit lower. 50% chance to inflict bleed. I like that. So you get essentially 40% more chance to bleed. 50% reduce slowing potency on debuffs on you. A nice, same thing. And then 15 to 26 physical thorns damage. Nice. So a little bit higher and lower, but that 50% up 40% is freaking amazing. And let's look up this one. I do have the Frost Breath, so let's see what changed on this one. It is adds 6 to 8 physical damage, adds 6 to 10 cold damage. All damage from hits with this weapon contributes to freeze buildup, culling strikes against the frozen enemies. Yeah, I was just using this to do like rolling slam on Act 1 with my warrior, and I was just wrecking fools, mobbing them. Just cleared Act 1 so fast with my warrior with just rolling slam. That's crazy. And then, so this is a new version. Adds 9 to 20 physical damage. Adds 8 to 18 cold damage. So that's essentially almost double. Plus 5% on critical hit chance. Nice. All damage from this hits the weapon contributes to freeze buildup. Cooling. All right, so same thing. So just a lot more freeze damage. Nice. Let's look at this over here. Byhands Mark. Or Brian Hands Mark? I think that's how you say it. This is a wooden club. It says adds 4 to 7 physical damage, 46 accuracy ratings, plus 6 to strength, causes double stun damage. Damn. Or double stun buildup. And then this is a new one, adds 12 to 8 physical damage. Nice. Plus 30% accuracy, 20% reduced attack speed. No! Plus 11 to strength, causes double stun. Why do they put... I guess because the physical damage 12 to 18. That's going to mitigate it somehow. And more strength. But dang, no. Accuracy is slightly lower. I don't know if I like this new version better. They're slowing down. They're slowing down like hit ratings with the warrior, and that's what a lot of people were complaining about.
Patch, we're buffing a lot of uniques. These changes should make finding uniques at lower levels a lot more fun, and make subsequent character playthroughs more fun too.
Let's see ones. I do have these down here actually. I have this Titan Rot Cataphract. It says 240% increased armor, 19% increased strength, 10% reduced dexterity, 10% reduced intellect. So this is definitely if you want to go full warrior mode. You have no life regeneration. Damn. If they're fixing the armor like they said they were, they said it's about a 15% like increase or change. Like you're gonna feel like a 15% increase with the armor because the armor stats were kind of bugged out. With 454 increased armor, you're going to feel that because it's double that. Well, almost double that. 25% increased strength. So they're increasing the strength. The lower in dexterity intellect is going to be the same. And you have no life regeneration. Nice.
You have some great uniques to use.
This has no spirit on it. Most chest pieces have spirit, and you
to
need
make finding
spirit.
rares better at higher levels too. First, we're
Let's see
changing
if I
mod
find an
weightings a
ammo
bit to make
spirit.
sure that there are less bad mods. Another fix is making high-tier items no longer cull the highest-tier.
I think bad mobs that a lot of people are not liking are the light radius. Like, come on, man. I don't need light radius on my boots. What is this?
Modifier of a given mod type. This bug caused bows and crossbows to not spawn with attack speed at tier 5 rarity, and rings to not spawn with life at tier 5 rarity.
See? I'm glad I waited.
Another change we're making is to make it so that socketables
And
such
this
as
is pretty
runes
awesome.
can now be overwritten with another socketable.
So cool. You can switch
As
them.
we continue to play, we still
What-
find many balance
keep
anomalies
switching
with
it.
specific monsters or bosses that can be nasty if you encounter them. This patch contains a pass adjusting a large number of those monsters and bosses. We'll save the full list for the patch notes, but there are a significant number of changes here that should address many cases where monsters or bosses felt too hard in certain circumstances. Here are a few examples to get a taste of what kind of changes you can expect.
Let's look.
The Silver Fist Commander
This
role
fool.
now does a lot less damage.
Comes out of nowhere and just one-shots you. Sometimes if you're not expecting
Plague
it.
Bearers Detonate Dead can no longer be used from off-screen and has better telegraphing.
Nice.
Forsaken Miners throw less grenades, have improved visuals, and deal less damage. And Lost Men Zealots can no
Those
longer
miners,
meteor
man.
you from off-screen either. As
I
well
never
as
had an
many
issue
other
with that
changes
guy
just like
metering
those.
me off screen.
One of the big issues for players on consoles is that the web-based item filter system is currently not working. This means that they can't use item filters like the PC users can.
Item filters.
The 0.1.1 will be enabling the same system that PoE 1 has, which allows you to subscribe to item filters on the website. For now, this will be done on the PoE 1 website to allow us to get this feature out as fast as possible. Later on,
Nice.
we'll improve the user experience of this and put it on the Path of Exile 2 website.
Nice. I have to look into
This
that.
patch also contains a bunch of other smaller changes and bug fixes that I'm sure you guys will appreciate, like buffing armor and scavenged plating, showing the number of uses left in your charms, as well as an effect when they trigger,
The song of the exiles.
fixing the music that Una was supposed to play in town,
I love it.
and plenty of other little fixes
Hey,
and
she never
improvements
plays. She only
throughout the
play for a
game.
little bit. When you give
Now,
her,
we have a huge
you find
amount of much
her-
more meta-shifting changes that we know we want to make, And one of the best things about having the game in early access with the endgame is that we now have a much better idea of where we want character power to be and what the balance of bosses and monsters should be relative to that. But those types of changes are going to have to wait until we are ready to make a new league with a new economy for people to play in. That's still a little while away yet, but in the meantime we'll be continuing to identify things that are causing frustration and try and address them. I want to thank you guys for playing and hope to be doing more of these in the future. Later.
See ya. All right, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think of these patch notes that are coming live to Path of Exile 2 sometime this week. Either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. I think those are the 3 days that it could go live. It'll be crazy if it's tomorrow because usually most updates are on Tuesdays or Fridays. But we'll see. I'm excited about this game. Like I said, I put like over 150 hours in this game. It's been out for a month and a week. I want to say a month and some change. So I'm addicted to builds and just having that ability to take a monk class and knowing their ascendancy is really focused on chaos and not the ranger ascendancy has a like chaos build to it, and poison like upgrades with chaos. So I just want to do like a crazy poison build with my monk that has a bow in his hand. So just have that ability to do that is what makes this game so exciting for me, and just trying new builds. And I'm excited for new classes that are going to be dropping. This game is awesome. I'm loving it. Marvel Rivals is out too. I'm playing that too, but PoE 2 has my heart. Definitely the best $30 ever spent on any single game. The best $30 ever spent on the game. Any like early access game, this has been money's well worth. I'll probably buy some cosmetics just to support them, or some maybe stash tabs because I really need some stash tabs. Like certain like rare, I need that rarity stash tab or the unique stash tab, so I'll probably get that. So if you guys are on the fence about this game and just have $30 lying around, able to spend, or if you guys just want to wait for the full release that will be absolutely free, this game's gonna blow your mind. If you're in ARPGs, if you are into like the Souls-like games and having the ability to customize things in this game is crazy. If you like customizing, if you like builds, this game is gonna be for you. Like my little puppy. So tomorrow I'll be picking up Hyper Light Breaker. I'll probably do a stream about that tomorrow. Just have a fun time. I'm gonna see what time it releases. If I could do an early stream and then do the breakdown for that, it'll be awesome. Early access game on Steam, Hyper Light Breaker. Just think Risk of Rain, but like more closer third person. All right, guys, love you to pieces. Stay risen, stay rising. Until next time, peace out. Oh, snap.